Hello everyone and welcome to a new year here at TWK Reviews, and today we're kicking things off with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I know, I'm actually reviewing a relatively modern video game. What is happening here, right? Like, this thing was only released a few months ago by the time this video comes out, so kind of interesting how we're finally feeling like a proper video game review channel here. Anyways, let's just talk about this game, shall we? First, we have one of the biggest talking points regarding this game, and that is its linearity. This has been a very dividing topic among people because when people heard about a Guardians of the Galaxy video game, they were not expecting it to be very similar to Uncharted. And as somebody who dabbles with the Uncharted series every now and again, like to just play a game of Uncharted, just some of them, just have some fun, come to the coast, have a few laughs. I can comfortably say that the comparisons aren't completely wrong. However, I gotta say that more than anything else, it's the execution that makes it work for me, because this could have easily been a complete disaster. Just absolute boring slog of a game, but the pacing overall is really well done. And I especially like how there are materials to find off in hidden paths, as well as another thing that we'll talk about later, because I wrote this list just off the top of my head, and we're just going to go by whatever I wrote down in whatever order it is. That's just how we're going to do things here. I could have just made a computerized list, but no, I made a clipboard one, and we're going to go by it, goddammit. And for the sake of transparency, yes, we are indeed utilizing New Game Plus, because I wanted to get this done as fast as possible because I am very, very impatient. And I will say it makes the first half of the game very, very easy to get through. You are super OP. However, the second half, still a bit challenging, I have to say. We'll get to the why later on, and oh boy, do I have a rant saved up for that. In terms of gameplay, I really should note how fun it is just to traverse around. Whenever you're just going around planets and other locales, just jumping around and exploring, that is one of the game's strongest points. Especially whenever you're utilizing a partner's ability, it makes everyone feel like they have a role to fill in the team. Playing through this game, you never get the sense that there's any member of the Guardians that's just there for filler. Groot can make bridges, fucking Drax can pick up heavy objects and chuck them, as well as knocking over tall towers. Gamora can cut through shit. Rocket has his tech abilities. And of course, Peter just orders them around. Also, there are lots of banter whenever you're exploring or in combat. And when you're in combat, it can sometimes repeat itself. Especially during boss battles. That's just, oh man, that can be so annoying. Like, during the first 2 to 3 minutes, it's like, oh, that's not bad. But once you get to minute 7, minute 8, minute 9, minute 10, 15, stop repeating yourself. Did they really not write that much material for this? And if they didn't, why did they program it to just go on a loop? These people start to feel like robots. And in terms of battles themselves, they can be fun, if repetitive sometimes. I have to say, though, that bullet sponge enemies suck here as they do everywhere else they appear in any video game ever. Seriously, developers, stop putting in bullet sponge enemies. Whether they're bosses or regular mooks, or they're supposed to be elite mooks, I don't care. Bullet sponge enemies suck. I will say, though, the interactive conversations are the absolute top-tier highlight of this game, feeling a bit of mixture between Mass Effect as well as the Telltale series. Although, true being true, I still have yet to play Guardians Telltale. Been meaning to, but I've kind of fallen behind on those. I haven't even played the final season of The Walking Dead. I also haven't played Life is Strange 2, or Life is Strange 2 Colors. Man, I'm just falling behind everything, aren't I? In terms of presentation, this game looks fantastic and it's directed rather well. I also appreciate all the alternate outfits, although they can be quite difficult to find. You'll really have to keep an eye out while exploring to locate them. These outfits range from comics, the movie, as well as some 100% original designs, which I appreciate. You know what I don't appreciate, though? Some of the glitches that happen. Like this one!
Alright, listen the Flark up. Groot and I are getting off this Dast Rock. Anyone who'd like a ride can follow us. Everyone else can go to hell.
Oh yeah, you just saw Furless Rocket. If I have to live with that in my brain for the rest of my life, then guess what? So do you. That now begs the old question, doesn't it? Is this the best glitched game ever? Well, you have to compare this to Fallout New Vegas then, I suppose, but in terms of games of this presentation level, I have to say yes, because Cyberpunk 2077 was also super glitched, but if you get beyond those glitches somehow, you can find a rather decent game, but I think this one just edges it out just that little bit. Alright, let's talk about that soundtrack. It is 100% centered around the 80s, unlike the movies which are centered around the 70s, which to me gives this game a huge leg up on the films. We got Motley Crue, Blondie, the fictional band Star-Lord, and Europe? And then all I have to say to Europe is, go to hell, you bastards! When it comes to my favorite parts of this game, most of them center around the location known as Nowhere. And that's nowhere with a K, as in no plus where. It's a pun, I think. Maybe? I don't know. I don't read comics. Although I probably should. Nevertheless, my favorite parts include the comedic high of the Storm Riders, which is essentially just Peter meeting up with his old buddy and them, I guess you could say, singing karaoke. Just let the clip speak for itself.
Together till the end, now we look to the sky. Lightning strikes twice, now it's on through the fly. Sing with me, Rita. Driving through the pouring rain. Ride the storm. Storm Riders. Storm Riders. Yeah.
And then we have one of my favorite optional conversations with Drax. And I'm just going to play a little clip of it here for you because, like, nothing I say can do it justice. Nothing.
In Catathian religion, we believe that in order to reach Ultaf, one must lead a life filled with purpose. And that failure to do so results in banishment to Sarduth. Our families have been cast out of paradise, Peter Quill, and into nothing.
The fact that they made this optional and super easy to miss just has them putting a lot of courage in the players' hands in order to find this, because this is hands down one of my favorite moments of the entire game, with the only thing coming close being the conversations that Peter has with his mom, because those are just adorable as fuck, and I'm going to let this clip speak for itself as well.
Is that your new tape? Star-Lord. Who's the guy with the scary eyes?
He doesn't have a name. He's one of the Space Riders. And he's not scary. He's cool.
Your Space Rider certainly got his hands full. Pretty far out!
Nobody says far out anymore, Ma. Ma!
What?
Nobody says far out anymore.
Oh, well, your mom does. Maybe we should see if we could get tickets to see them live.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Your mom may not look it, but I was quite the rocker when I was your age. Your father and I would just lie on the hood of my old Chevy and listen to Black Sabbath and...
You like Black Sabbath?
Like I said, your mom's cooler than you think.
And with that clip, I can easily say that Peter's mom has just gone way up in the rankings as far as cool parents in video games go, with the only number one person being above her. That's Kazuma Kiryu from the Yakuza series. I know that might be a controversial take because, no, Peter's mom, she's great, she's awesome, but ain't nobody better than Kiryu. I'm sorry, like, it has to be said. He is still the best parent in any video game ever. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion. And speaking of things that I absolutely love about this game, its theme of coping with loss. Every single member of the Guardians has lost someone close to them. Every last one of them. And this game just does an excellent job of just portraying that. As someone who's lost so many friends, I've lost count, as well as a close family member, it's just... gosh, it's just great to see that put into a video game format. This has definitely made coping a bit easier, I gotta say. Just seeing larger-than-life characters experience that as well. So, to Eidos Montreal and to Square Enix for helping produce this game, thank you for that. Thank you. I also have to give a huge prop to how these characters are written. We have Drax, who's much more religious in this game than the comics, as well as the movie. We have Gamora's obsession with collecting dolls, which makes way more sense in context, just trust me. It seems like a funny, haha, that's a goofy little character quirk, super badass woman collecting dolls, tee. But trust me, there is a super dramatic reason for it, and it's going to hit you right in the feels. We also have the fact that Star-Lord is a true leader, like an actual competent one. I think the best way to describe Peter Quill in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy would be to take the Ryder twins, all their best characteristics, combine them with Commander Shepard from the Mass Effect trilogy, add in a bit of 80s music for flavor, and bang, bang, boom, you got yourself a Star-Lord. And that, everyone, was Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. If there's anything that I want to see in a future sequel, if it ever gets made, would be a more Arkham Asylum style game, because as much as I enjoy linear adventure games, I also wouldn't mind something that was a bit more centric on Arkham Asylum's Metroid style, because there's so many times when you get all these cool abilities and it'd be like, it'd be cool if every time you get a new ability, you're able to go back to a previous level and use it to go find collectibles, because it almost feels like that's what this game was tailor-made to be. Like, there's so many cool abilities where, like, okay, we discovered this new ability that, Groot can now raise stuff up from this, create these platforms. It'd be cool if you, go back to a previous level and be like, oh, now we can go up to this ledge that we couldn't reach earlier. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking, that'd be so cool. And that's one of the things that I love about Metroid style games, is the fact that whenever you get those types of abilities, you'll of course also see that a lot in Zelda games. That's with the exception of Breath of the Wild, but that is a completely different type of Zelda game. But yeah, it'd be cool to see Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy number 2 go in that direction. But of course, that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people would love to see just a replication of this, but I always prefer innovation over just stagnation, Anyways, that's been the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. And yeah, as you can tell, I'm not really one for staying in one style. I could have easily just done 100% voiceover, but I was just kind of getting bored of that, so I decided to go with this style. By the way, if you're ever wondering what type of person I am, don't judge me for the drink size, but yeah, I'm a Wawa guy. Just want to throw that in there just for the extra little, Easter egg, I guess, if you ever wanted to know, because everyone's got their gas station. Some people prefer Sheetz, some people, like me, prefer Wawa, and there's some people that prefer things that are not either of those, which I have no idea what those are. Are there gas stations out there that are not of this variety? There are areas where there are no Wawa or Sheetz, and if that's the case, where are you living? I feel bad for you, because Wawa, this is the best. Sheetz is number 2, everything else, distant 3rd or 4th. Anyways, I'm going to leave now because I'm just rambling at this juncture. I'll see you guys next time. Not sure what I'm reviewing next. Looking over at my shelf of games. That's a good one. I think I'll review that one next. Can't wait.